when they say those things, you go to any one of our communities where things are happening, there is a group. There's groups like my foundation, any other foundation.
Yep.
There are moms out there that are
Yep.
marching and saying, hey, we need to stop this. We need to stop this, right? And the fact that Black folks pick up the phone and call the police when something happened tells you that we don't want this stuff happening in our community. So
Exactly.
the same way that we're trying to fight the racism and fight the systematic oppression and fight these other things, we're not sitting up here celebrating these things that's happening in our community. So they actually sound foolish when they say that.
Yeah,
it's like we allow Black on Black crime. We're just as against it as we are anything else.
Yeah.
You know, we have to sit here and we're discussing a bill directed at Asian hate.
Mhm.
You know, I mean, we can't say that civil rights is for Black people because civil rights is for everybody.
At the end of the day, not trying to be funny or nothing like that. Yeah, this is not a joke or nothing what I'm about to say. At the end of the day, Black people still go to the nail salon every week and get their nails done by the Asians. So how we hate? We support them. Shit, we still tip them.
So let's switch gears here. Harris, the VP, came out and said that the U.S. is not a racist country. She pretty much doubled down what Tim Scott said earlier. What do y'all think about that? A person that Black people kind of embraced and propped up and said she's one of ours, AKA went to HBCU. What do y'all say to that?
Bait and switch. Bait and switch. 3 words. Bait and switch. That's how I feel about it. Bait and
Dang.
switch.
Dang, that's deep. And you know, she's kind of primed to be the next president. You know, sometimes, you know, you shouldn't open your mouth to speak on certain things. You got to play it. You got to play the game raw. You know what I'm saying? You've been in this position for 3 months. Let's stop playing out. You don't have to speak on every single topic because now it seems that Joe Biden is more pro-Black than she is.
Yeah.
He really ain't
Bro,
all
Joe.
that. Look, and Uncle Joe really ain't. He ain't really did nothing for us. Like at the end of the day, what has he done for Black people as a whole? I mean, the stimulus check shit. In all honesty, Trump had that started.
Yeah.
So I mean, besides the nothing really, I can't even think of nothing. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I might be wrong because I ain't into politics too much, but I ain't really heard nothing big about him doing anything for Black people.
I will say he is pushing for certain things, but of course, you know, he's not the only legislator, or he's not even in the legislative branch. So there's rules and regulations how you can move and how you can do things. He has proposed some things, but yeah, you're right. In 100 days, there hasn't been anything specifically for Black and brown people.
That's true.
Yeah.
So, Mike Sean, let me ask you this question. Why is it that the Asians got that within 100 days of that? And it really, I mean, I don't see too many hate crimes. So let me ask you this question. Was it indirectly done to pass a bill for the Asians, or was it legitimately somebody out there targeting Asians?
I love that you brought that up. I'm gonna defer to Brother John.
Hey, I mean, that question in itself is amazing. I mean, not amazing, but just that we have to sit here. Everything that Black people have gone through, you know, we have to sit here and we're discussing a bill directed at Asian hate. You know, I mean, we can't say that civil rights is for Black people because civil rights is for everybody.
Yes.
You know, but I mean, if I'm wrong, somebody please correct me. And any of our viewers who may have an answer for this, please share in the comments. But what do we have that specifically protects Black people? We tried to get Emmett Till. You know, they shoot it down. It sits on the floor for months. before they even bring it, for discussion. You know, George Floyd. Okay, just because you name a bill after us doesn't mean it's for us. You know,
I think
I'm
we're
just
always,
saying
we're
that
always.
it's and nothing against Asian people,
Oh
Nothing
and
against
nothing
Asian. I
against
love them.
any other race outside of black people, but it seems like any immigrant, because we're not immigrants, we were forced to come here. Any immigrant that comes to America immediately sides or is gonna side, and it's only natural they're
With the
gonna
winning
side
team.
with the class that's in power or the people who are controlling things. So I mean, when we were, where was the Asian support when the little 9-year-old girl or the girl was shot because they thought she was stealing orange juice? Where were the Asian people to speak up in that wrongdoing? Where's the support when I didn't hear, Asians going across the matter of fact, any other race besides ourselves who came out and, is willing to we support everybody.
Yeah.
But
So
where's the support when we truly need it?
so
That's my question.
and a lot of times these bills, we're always like the catch all. So you remember like in the 90s when they had the anti-hate crime bill. We knew, it was mainly for us. They were targeting us, right? But then you have the Asian hate bill that just passed a few days ago. It's targeted for them. It's like we're always a catch all. You look at civil rights, like you just stated earlier, John. It was for everybody. You know what I'm saying? But it was our blood, sweat, and tears that made that a reality.
All lives matter.
Yes.
Right. But that's how they do it. But it's crazy. But you think to a degree, don't a lot of people in the Asian community tend to lean conservative and tend to vote those ways? So if you paint something this way and give them something, that's trying to figure out the best way to paint this picture without, but you're kind of getting yourself more support. Okay, so we're losing a little bit of ground to the left. Yeah. We got a president on a Democrat. Okay, so let's do something for this Asian community so we can see that we're against them, so that we can make sure that they continue to vote with us and go with us. Because like you said, we stand against any other minority group, but it's very rare that you see other minority groups come and take their stand like the gentleman just said. And that's the thing. But a lot of times those Asian populations tend to lean towards the right team, to be more conservative. And so it's like, you know what, let's give them something because that's going to help us in the long run.
Yeah, yeah. In recent years, even with the whole Black Lives Matter movement, I guess as far as the other minorities kind of coming to black people's sides, as some people may put it, there's actually been more white people who've came out and defended and proposed the reparations and the causes. That's so which is kind of odd. I mean, I think a lot of times the other groups might not feel that they benefit, like John said, by siding with us. And then it might come into play with the white privilege. They're like, oh, well, we got to lose. Let's go ahead and side with the black people, because people fail to realize that the Black Lives Matter organization is very diverse, and they have a lot of white influence and members too. You know what I'm saying? And that's really what's confusing a lot of people on the right. And I wish James would come on. I don't know what's going on, because I definitely would like a conservative viewpoint on this. But they don't understand. People on the right, they're just so used to all white people thinking like them. They get kind of caught off guard when they run into like a white person, like, you know what? That's pretty racist what they did to Chauvin, or that's pretty racist how they're doing to this girl or that girl, So now they don't know who to trust. Long have gone the days of going to Best Buy and talking that ultra Trump conservative stuff, just anybody. Now they have to be more mindful what they say, because they don't know which way somebody leans.
Right.
But like you guys were saying, I do wish that we had more support, more, I guess, visible support from the other minority groups who are catching hell.
But that Asian bill, All they had to do was say black people attacking Asians. That's all the headline had to say.
Yep.
Black hate, attacks, and of course that was gonna get passed through. And if you clips, and I'm saying and then it was some black people attacking them, but the way the media attacks themselves, and then they would have, because the white boy went to Georgia and shot those Asians in the spot, but nobody put him at the head of the Asian hate. It was always a black individual attacking Asians, and they're wrong. But this gentleman went, and he purposely went targeting Asians, right? He purposely went and shot up those Asian, those salons, man, because Asian women wouldn't date him, or whatever fetish he had with Asian women. They wasn't giving him the time of day. And so they attached black to it. And of course it went through, but we had Jim Crow, we had slavery, we had the civil rights movement, and we still catching it today, and we don't have no type of bill to protect us.
We had Dylan Roof.
Yeah, Dylan Roof. Yeah.
Look, and that's what I was talking about. Remember when I asked the question? Yeah, that's what I was saying about, mainly about that shooting in Atlanta where the dude targeted Asian people. Like, was that set up by them to get that bill passed? That's what I was trying to ask. Like, yeah,
Wow.
that's the question. Like, was that the caveat? Like, yeah, at the end of the day, not trying to be funny or nothing like that. Yeah, this is not a joke or nothing what I'm about to say. At the end of the day, black people still go to the nail salon every week and get their nails done by the Asians. So how we hate? We support shit. We still tip them.
You said something right there, brother. You
You
said something. You said something, brother. Exactly. Wow. Just we're probably the number one supporters of Asian entrepreneurship, Asian business.
Yeah.
Madam C.J. Walker would probably roll over here in her grave if she knew how black people don't control the hair market.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, yeah, you're right. You're right, Jay. I mean, Asian hate, and you're trying to place it on black people by just one person walking up and dapping them. You know what I'm saying? Smacking them around. Heck, perfect example is Do the Right Thing. Sweet Dick Willie. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? He said he about to go give some Asians some more of his money. So yeah, and a lot of that has to do with us as far as the entrepreneurship. We are the only race of people that will allow another ethnic group to come into our community and control the revenue.
Mm-hmm. But what about all the videos we've seen of Asians locking their doors and attacking black women in their shops?
Oh man.
Like what? So it's just amazing that the same stuff that we all go through, all races have trauma and stuff like this. But I'm saying I've seen videos where Asian men and women have falsely accused sisters of stealing, and I mean they're beating them like they're dogs and cattle, man. And it's like, where's the outcry for that? Because black, like, they're females, and you got this Asian man spitting and slapping, and they're kicking this sister on the ground, and nobody's coming to her defense. But an Asian person will get attacked, and it's wrong. The whole world comes to their aid.
Mm-hmm. It's ridiculous. It's just crazy. Like,
yeah.
All right. I just don't understand, how, it's, I mean, any other, like you said, to speak to what you were saying, as far as the Asian men that, attack black women in the way that they do. I mean, any man to attack a woman, is, I mean, that should be automatic death or whatever, regardless of, and regardless of what the situation may be. But I mean, it's like, and their stores continue to thrive in the community. I mean, it only takes one time, and this is just, if in my world, in a perfect world, it only takes one time and your business is done. There's no more. You will never make another dollar off this community after treating those who patronize you and basically provide for you and your family. you know,
Mhm.
treat
So
them the way that you do. So that's
so a couple years ago, I was in Houston, Texas for my great grandfather's funeral, and my cousins wanted to go get some liquor. You know, I tend to not drink the devil's nectar, but that's a subject for another podcast. So when I went in there, you know, like it was the customers before us, like the owner, I guess he was the owner. And if you notice, if you go to some of those establishments, they sit up kind of high, right?
Mhm.
They want to see what's going on, right? Mind you, they're in Acres Homes, which is historically black community in Houston, Texas. And he was just in there fussing at the guy, and the guy kind of looked like he didn't have much, you know, homely or whatnot. And he's like, "Get out of my store!" And then the dude left. You know what I'm saying? So then I saw that. My cousin saw that, and I was like, "Man, I'm not gonna give them none of my money."
Mm-mm.
You know what I'm saying? Of course, my cousins, they went ahead and they got their little, you know, Ciroc or whatever, you know. But my thing is this: if you treat me like ish, like I'm not, there's like no coming back for that. But you
Mm-mm.
know what? I'm pretty sure that brother that got tossed out of that store, he was right back there, 6 o'clock
Yep.
in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like we're the only people who will patronize people that treat us like dog shit, and we'll be at their stores before they even open, lined up, ready to spend our hard-earned money, just like Sweet Dick Willie.
And then they quick to say like, yeah, we have a black owned spot or whatever in the neighborhood. They quick to throw us under the bus when it's something small or minor, and go to another person, a big organization, and give them praise, and they won't do half as good as you do,
Mm-mm.
or
Mhm.
sell half of the products that you sell.
Yeah,
Mm.
That's true.
yeah. I mean, if you look in the hair industry, I know my wife kind of dabbled in that some years ago. You know, selling that good yakky or whatever they call it, right?
Remy,
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the Remy or whatever. I don't even know that hair stuff,
I don't
right?
even know.
You know, but just trying to get sisters to buy into it. They would rather go to, you know, the little offshoot, the beauty supply store, the little salon store selling that cheap stuff.
Right.
You know,
Yep.
it's just that we just won't. It just boils down to we don't support each other. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? We the only people that will bankroll another ethnic group's college tuition
Right.
at our own
Hey, look.
detriment.
Yeah.
And Mike Sean, prime example. I got the mobile detailing and power washing thing, and I done had black people, not to say racist or whatever. I done had black people tell me like, "Oh, you too much," and I do that for the same Mexican, white, or Asian, what? Because I done did all of them before, and
Yeah.
they'll be like, "Sir, your prices is too low." Like what?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the black guy just told me, "Oh, you too high." You telling me I'm too low? What is
Mm.
it?
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean that kind of goes
Because we
back to
think
that.
when we support a black-owned business, we're supposed to get a hookup.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
oh wow,
Yep.
Exactly.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
You can have a hot
Yeah.
dog stand.
Mm-hmm.
I'm selling a hot dog for $2. Joe Schmo is selling a hot dog for $2. Man, I'm gonna go to Joe Schmo's. You know what I'm saying? It's the same hot dog, same buns. You know, but they would rather.
Nigga, you know how
White
many hot
ice
dogs
is-
I can get for $2?
Yeah, white ice is always colder, or even other ethnic groups' ice is always colder.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I mean, so so a lot of that with a community, another community coming into our area and just open up shop and running the whole shebang. A lot of it has to deal with us. It's our fault.
Yeah.
You look at Do the Right Thing, and we're gonna do a recap for Do the Right Thing. Sal's Pizzeria, right? There was a reason why Sal wasn't
Oh man,
in on Pleasant Avenue. He even stated in the movie, there's a whole bunch of pizzerias in that area. There's competition. But he can come into our neighborhood and pretty much have a monopoly. That's what
He
it
got
was.
his though.
Oh well, yeah. Subject for another podcast.
Right.
We're gonna get into
right.
that.
Sal got his.
Yeah. But so I think on both ends we got to do better, and we have to press our legislators. We have Val Demings in there. We have Maxine Waters, right? They got to start pressing the issue.
Yeah.
But I think they're kind of scared to voice their opinions because they don't want to quote unquote target another minority group. What you're not really targeting is just it's being fair and balanced like Fox News, right?
But listen, but that's the thing. They have no issue targeting us, right? Because we, like you said, we are too. Black people are so forgiving. Like we're the most. Our race is a forgiving race, man. Like it's just
Except for each other.
amazing. Yeah, exactly. Except for each other. Now we will tear each other's head off immediately, but we will sit there. Like I don't understand. Like
Man,
I don't like when I was watching the George Floyd thing, right? I'm sorry, but if that was me, like I would have threw myself, like I literally would have, I know I would have took my phone and I would have tried to hit Chauvin upside his head. That probably would have got me somewhere, maybe like George Floyd. But at the end of the day, man, people watch that man die like he was worth nothing. Do you think those Jews in New York with the I can't even think of but they got the curly hair, like they wear the little curly thing, the something Jews. Bro, the police went in their neighborhood to try to arrest one of their people. Yo, they beat the brakes off the cops and made the cops leave their community, dog.
Yeah.
Amish.
You're right.
You talking about Amish?
I don't know, man. It's something. All I know is they tried to arrest one of their people. Bro, they came out in droves, literally surrounded the police car, like basically made the police get in their car and leave their community.
Yeah. And the thing is, like you were saying, Courtney, too, we're so forgiving. Dylan Roof, how quick were those people to forgive him?
Mm-hmm.
The time where that police officer ran into the wrong apartment, how quick her brother was willing to hug her, or was willing to hug the officer that shot. The brother that was sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times we are quick to forgive, and it's just, I guess that comes back to self-hate. So man, it's just wild, man.
Program.
We'll hate each other forever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, we ain't never. It's hard to get rid of that,
And it's not even because they did something. It's just because your truck newer than mine. Because your shoes is.
hey, look, mine's a 95. Mine's 95.
You know what I mean? But I'm just saying.
Yeah,
it's
I know,
because
brother.
you got something. You just got something better than me. I hate you, man. I can't stand Sean, man. That nigga got a promotion before me, man.
Yeah.
But. But somebody else from another race come in here and shoot up your whole family. I love you. I don't want to see anything bad happen to you. Right? And it's just, really?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you're right. We're the most forgiving, but it's like we're the most violent towards each other, and that's one thing we definitely got to get a hold of. But that still does not negate the fact that we have to be treated fairly. Don't bring up the fact that Chicago is having a 60 shootings in a weekend, and that justifies your rationale for saying that you guys don't even think your own lives matter. I'm like,
yeah. But then on that same token, right, when they say those things, you go to any one of our communities where things are happening, there is a group. There's groups like my foundation, any other foundation.
Yep.
There are moms out there that are marching and saying, hey, we need to stop this. We need to stop this, right? And the fact that Black folks pick up the phone and call the police when something happened tells you that we don't want this stuff happening in our community. So
Exactly.
The same way that we're trying to fight the racism and fight the systematic oppression and fight these other things, we're not sitting up here celebrating these things that's happening in our community. So they actually sound foolish when they say that.
Yeah,
it's like we allow Black on Black crime. We're just as against it as we are anything else.
Yeah, they don't understand that there is actually gang, like mothers against gangs, you know what I'm saying, in Chicago and St. Louis. You know what I'm saying? But they want to say, oh, Black Lives Matter. I'm like, dude, like they have a specific key and area that they're trying to work on, right? I mean, yeah, for me, I guess I would like if some of those funds would kind of like help out the smaller organizations in the different cities. But I mean, they're doing what they were set up to do. We have, if you don't like it, they need to go ahead and go to the St. Louis's, the Detroits that have those organizations doing the groundwork that need help, need funds. You know what I'm saying? So, but I hate that argument,
They got a lot of them in Detroit like that too.
Yeah. I mean, Jay grew up East Side Detroit, Chambers Brothers, Maserati Rick, all those old, crack dealers. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they had people back then that was marching against that. You know what I'm saying? But the problem is they don't support those groups. You know why? They didn't support the Panthers.
Mm-mm.
The Panthers were trying to get all the gangs out of Oakland and all the drug dealers and pimps off the streets. How much support did they get from the right or
None.
any? None. You had COINTELPRO. That's the kind of support you're gonna get.
Yeah.
You know,
'Cause they
whenever
don't want
there's an
blacks-
organization who's trying to uplift the people, oh, they're communists.
Right.
They're a threat to society.
But the Klan running around here still to this day. They ain't get no FBI detail or
Mm-mm.
informants.
Nope.
Yeah, they won't even call them terrorists.
Oh,
Right.
They still won't. And have you guys
But
noticed?
they call Black Lives Matter terrorists.
They always try to equate the most extreme. Like they'll say, "Oh, Black Lives Matter is the new Klan, or they're the skinheads." I'm thinking to myself, how many open lynches and I mean, how many Sundays that they just sat around and in Compton, California, and string up, you know, what I'm saying,
White
some
folk.
from Beverly Hills.
White folk.
Hey, so let me say this, Mike Sean. I know it's gonna start a lot of controversy or whatever, however, but fuck it. I'm gonna say it.
Say it.
The Black Lives Matter movement already been infiltrated by white people.
Well, it's actually been bankrolled
Of
too.
course.
So how can you have an organization that's funded by white people, has white membership? How can it be racist towards whites?
Exactly.
Make that make sense.
Racists don't think the racists are wired differently, bro. You know, common sense is not common amongst ignorant folk, man.
So when you talk to these people, right, they'll, like I said, they'll quote Malcolm X, right? The white liberal, all that. They believe that only white liberals can be racist. White Southern conservatives cannot be.
Please.
So in actuality, they are admitting that there's racism in the U.S., but it's
not
white
from
liberals
their
who are
side.
committing it. Yeah,
Right.
it makes no sense at all. You know, makes complete zero sense.
But when you put a Candace Owens and a Tim Scott and individuals like that in microphone, because if Candace Owens light bulb came on today and she starts speaking for black folk, all her money will dry up quick.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Look at Stacey Dash. She's trying to reinvent herself.
Where's Omarosa at?
Exactly.
Trying to reinvent herself. You know, so yeah, there's no money in that. It's just no money in speaking the truth, because you'd be like everybody else. You know, they will label you a liberal activist or a you know, all kind of a libtard, what they call Obama, you know, all them
That's it.
foolish ass names.
But this is why this platform is so good, because you got black men on here who and we're changing the way or change the narrative on how people look at black, you know, the black community. Now, of course, you're not going to change everybody,
Of course not.
but I mean, just simply with dialogue like this, look at what we've torn down in the time that we've been on this platform today and previous episodes. Like,
Mhm.
we know what's happening within our community, but they're never going to invite nobody like us or somebody that's out there that knows the truth and who's willing to go in the lion's den and just tear down all their foolishness. It's easy for them to put up a Candace Owens or a Tim Scott or that individual, because they fall right in line with the agenda, which makes no sense. You're black and you're helping them destroy black people. Like, I don't understand that.
Yeah, because you're helping them validate what we've been saying all along.
Right,
It's
right.
wrong, it's messed up, but you toting a buffer in there, and they gonna say everything that we want to say. Like I told you before, when I was watching that after the Chauvin trial, right?
Mhm.
All the lady did on Fox News was ask questions. She asked the question that she knew she would get a reaction to this Bojangling buck dancing. I forget his name,
Leo Terrell.
Leo Terrell. He is a shine. I want him to come on the show. Subject for another podcast. But but I mean, but even us, man, you know, I've had open forums on Facebook. I'm saying, hey, conservatives, come on the show. Only about one, come on. Hey, black conservatives, come on the show. All we have is James, and James isn't here. I don't know what happened, but you know, I mean, I welcome all the smoke,
Right.
you know, but of course, like you said, they probably wouldn't let us on their platforms because
Not at all.
we don't toe the party line, you know.
Mm-mm.
And like I said, man, I've always said it before. I have no problem with black conservatives. I have no problem with black liberals or black libertarians, right? But just call it what it is. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you were born in 1959 and you're a black man born in the South, and you're saying that racism don't exist or there's no history of systemic racism, something is wrong, or you were
Yeah.
living in a bubble.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
You know. So,
Mm.
I
final
mean, we got to
thoughts.
fight to even get an
Okay.
anti-lynching bill passed in America,
Mhm.
man.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And it's
yeah.
not even just for us. It would benefit everybody.
Exactly.
You
Exactly.
know? That's
Yeah. I
crazy.
mean, and that's what this is 2021. You know,
Ridiculous.
100 years after Tulsa, Oklahoma, 100 years after Rosewood, 100
Mm.
years after St. Louis riots.
Mm. Mm.
Final thoughts, brothers. I'll
Mm.
start off with Courtney.
Number one, man, great discussion as always. It's cool to have a conversation with like-minded people, man, especially black men, because you know we get a bad rap sometimes, and within the media, man, and it's just good to come on, man, and discuss things that are happening in this country. This country is changing, but it's still a long way to go, man. And just platforms like this, I love it because it gives an outlet for us to just say what we want, talk about things that affect us, man, and I'm all about positivity, man. Like, you know, I just want our people to do better, man. Like we've made a lot of strides, but we got so much more to go. So you know, we ways to go, but just being able to just have a good discussion with like-minded individuals, man, just a breath of fresh air. But great episode like always.
Definitely. Brother Jay.
Yeah, I definitely appreciate you giving me the opportunity to come on and speak, speak my mind, like-minded people on here. And if I'm not mistaken, I might be the youngest person on this episode. Yeah, I might be the youngest person on this episode. I'm only 33. So yeah, I think I might be the youngest person on this episode. So yeah, just to get that perspective, the young-minded perspective, give my opinion, and bounce it off a older minded. I ain't saying y'all old or nothing like that. I'm just saying older than me.
Ain't
So
old,
yeah, I definitely, y'all ain't old. Yeah, don't get me
Yeah, I
wrong.
know.
Y'all ain't old at all. No. Just y'all older, so I get that mindset, that perspective. And you can get my perspective on things, and it sounds just like, this is
Right.
we on the same page. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
on that same type of time. Yeah.
Mhm.
So I definitely appreciate the opportunity. And that's all,
Always. Brother Justin.
Hey, well, I'm just 34, so I'm just right there. Hey, but I'll say to follow up what everyone else has said. I do appreciate Sean the opportunity to sit out here and bring men and showcase black men this way, because there's this propaganda that may want people to think that black men are all uneducated, gang banging, raping, whatever, all this propaganda. But in actuality, these are what black men look like. These are what black men sound like. We're educated. We love our family. We love each other. We love our community, and we want to see it do well. And I think that we need to continue these things and continue to reach out with other people that may or may not think like us, so that way we can just get the truth out there and move toward a better tomorrow for not only ourselves but those that's gonna come after us.
Definitely appreciate you, brother.
Definitely.
John.
Man, hey, I just want to say thank you to all you brothers. I mean, like everyone has already said, this is an opportunity for us to come together and show a side of black men that the world doesn't really get to see. I think every time that we get on here, we're breaking a stereotype. We're showing that we've been here. We just get overshadowed by what the media chooses to push to the world. And I think it's in 2021, I think a lot is being exposed that we aren't the savages that we were portrayed and pushed to the world to be. And it wasn't us all along. You know, and they say, you know, what was the devil's greatest trick was making the world think he didn't exist. I mean, shit, they've been doing that for 400 plus now.
Mercy.
So I mean, they you know, this is a platform where we can show them we can do more than dribble. We can do more than catch a pass. We can do more than get on stage and sing. Our voices can do so much more than entertain them, and that's what they're scared of, you know. And you know, once again, my brothers, y'all stay safe out there. Hey, Sean, I appreciate the opportunity, you know, and
Yeah.
look
Always,
forward
man.
to next time.
Hey, always, man. You know, we're gonna keep this thing rocking and rolling. Like I said, everybody out there, if you want to come on the show, just hit me up. You know the email. But we definitely need to continue this. For all you Bojangling, buck dancing Negroes, like, hey, the Geechee is over. You know what I'm saying? So there you have it, folks.
Hey,
Like, share, and
the
subscribe
light
to the
is
channel.
on, you know.
Like, share, subscribe to the channel, and we out. Yeah.